Our next speaker is Dr. Frances Wessels, and her presentation will be focusing on preparing student teachers for the foundation phase classroom in an online module. So I hand over to you, Dr. Wessels.
Sorry for that. Good morning, Professor Levak, Dr. Stoltenkamp, and an excellent team who so readily share their expertise with us and colleagues. And thank you for the singular honor to present at this prestigious event, the Academic Week and CIECT Colloquium. Maybe if somebody can, maybe if you could go to the next slide. Yeah, my name is Frances Wessels, and I'm a lecturer in educational studies. I've been a teacher, and I taught all the phases, and I also worked at the Department of Education. Now, we train students in foundation phase, and I am teaching practical learning. In order to prepare our students, we need to equip them with the knowledge and the skills deemed necessary for reflecting critically on various theoretical and practical aspects of pedagogy and the role of the teacher. And we must ensure that they have the theoretical tools and are trained to possess knowledge of excellent teaching methods and the skills to teach learners of diverse backgrounds and abilities. And if you have it, I included a picture that is an idea of what the foundation phase teacher looks like, and when they sit in the classroom with a little group of learners around them. If you can get the next. So who is the foundation phase teacher and what do they do? They work with the very young, those 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds. They are the most vulnerable of learners, and the foundation phase teacher that we train must ensure that there is the holistic development of every individual child. They should know every child in their classroom. They should know the learning styles. They should know the background. They should know that particular child because they must lay the foundation of lifelong learning. That learner is not going to remain in foundation phase forever, will move to the other phases, and then they must be equipped. They need special, they must acquire skills which those learners in the other phases already have. That means that as the foundation phase teacher, we must develop and enhance critical thinking. If you look at that little one sitting there, even in that little child, we should instill the ideas of critical thinking, that they don't just accept everything that they see and hear around them. They must develop the social, emotional, and life skills, physical, sensory, and communication skills. And the next slide. So to teach in a foundation phase, there you can see, look at the picture, it is exciting and it is rewarding because we must teach the foundation phase of, the foundations of reading. Now, reading, we must introduce them to print. We must introduce them to a book. The child will see symbols and we must let them understand, make sure that those symbols there are letters and sounds. And eventually, if you put those symbols in a specific pattern, they will form words and they will form sentences. And we must make them realize, or we must train them to form thoughts in their heads, which they can eventually verbalize and then put into writing. But to write, they have to be taught to write. Even something like sitting, like the correct body posture, we must teach them how to grip the pencil and the crayon, and how to form the patterns and how to make form the letters. And mathematics, oh, this child must realize that the world is mathematics. All around him is mathematics. If he counts with his fingers, the 5, the 10 fingers, that's mathematics. If he gets on a scale, that's mathematics. The time of day, the months, the days of the week, if he sits in a room and he will see the one wall connects with the other, that's mathematics. Looking at the door, that's a rectangle. Eating out of a plate, that's a circle. And we teach them life skills. The you need to be honest. You have to have respect for yourself. You must respect others. And with that, we train them that is a skill. We want them to eventually become citizens, valued citizens of South Africa or their country. And we teach them the beginning of history and geography and biology. So the student teacher should acquire special skills, actually become a specialist to teach the child in the foundation phase. If we can just get to the next. And our student teachers should be skilled to manage the foundation phase classroom effectively across a broad socio-pedagogical spectrum in order to create environments conducive to effective teaching and learning. If that learner walks into the classroom and he sees the classroom, it must be print rich. He must be able to feel I belong there. I want to be there. And um, if he looks at mathematics, we usually have these corners, the reading corner and the mathematics corner. Everything he must feel that he wants to explore and he wants to discover. So you can see I have some pictures there of what the classroom should look like. And then lockdown came and online teaching. Now I am a lecturer because I said I was a teacher. I would run around in the classroom and I would make Vygotsky and Bloom and Solo and all the other theories and the methodologies. I would make it practical. We would cut the apple in the classroom. We would share. We would run around. We would do nursery rhymes and everything when it's face to face. And suddenly it's lockdown and online teaching. And I thought, now online teaching is different process and requires careful planning and much more work than face to face. And I knew I had to prepare much more differently and also become more creative. So
You have 3 minutes left, Dr.
I had
Wessels.
to utilize the platforms available, slide presentations, the web presentations, case studies, and video analysis. And I had to create opportunities to develop students to still work independently. The next slide. So I've took the started Canva and I decided, yes, my lectures will be on Big Blue Button because everything is on Big Blue Button, or all the assignments, and I had to do the assignment differently. The resources, everything is on Big Blue, on Canva, so they could go there. And then we usually have discussions in class. So the use of the discussion forum, I would make them use their mobile devices and they would search for apps, for instance, make mathematics interesting and make it fun. And then they would post on discussion forum and they would engage with one another, share ideas and opinions. It is marvelous to see what they did if when they have these discussions. Maybe the next one. And then I also just thought that I must use the Google platform. CIECT trained them how to create their own videos and make it very, very professional. And then it is important that students, whatever they collect, that they can put it together and they have a lot what I call a toolbox. In 2016, Dr. Deploy started with the Eportfolio, and I thought I am going to let my students have special professional e-portfolios. Now, what's an e-portfolio? It is a personal website. They can have their pictures there. They put their CV there. They can put awards and have their own teaching philosophy. They through the years, because
1 minute remaining.
their first year, they do their teaching. They create a teaching philosophy. and all that was being trained by CIECT, in particular Mrs. Brock. Now they have pages and sub-pages for the grades and the subjects, and they would load all material on the ePortfolio. They used to present there at CIECT. This year they will present on Google, and then teaching practice. Our students also go on teaching practice, and I had home-based students, and I thought maybe we could just have a video, but then we decided no, they will be trained, and I actually went into the classroom because we did live streaming. Like yesterday, I had four lessons. I was in the classroom with the virtual supervision. I could see how the student engaged, how the student teach, how they made the theories become practical in the learning space, and how the learners participated. And I could actually speak to the learners and speak to the student there in the classroom and the teachers. And I just want to share the pages quickly. The next slide. There you will see 2 pages of the ePortfolio, because I said they prepared it on ePortfolio, and the ePortfolio is as a tool, but when they go into the schools, they have it. And then the next slide. There we can see how the student is engaging with the little learners, and we see 2 little learners packing out their patterns. I was there, I could see that, and also how they would present the word, match the word next to the picture. So that was the live stream with virtual supervision. And just the last slide quickly. The world is currently facing dramatic changes, not only due to the pandemic, but also due to climate change, artificial intelligence, digitization, and the 4th industrial revolution. And these unpredictable changes will definitely affect and shape the children's future lives and work options. Now, our foundation phase student teachers who will teach those children, they should be prepared to teach within the era of technology. Therefore, we must ensure that they are familiar with working online and are skilled and equipped for the 21st century learning environment, the smart classroom, and how to use all the multimedia resources. We ultimately want our students to become fully professional when they walk into the schoolyard, and the principal will tell them, here is your classroom, there are your learners. They must be adequately qualified, and they must be fully prepared and well-skilled educators. To do this, we should work together in collaboration with CIECT. And this is just my story. Last slide quickly. So this is just my story about online teaching and learning. I thank you.